In May 1948, he visited the Soviet Union, and for the first and only time in his life, he saw Joseph Stalin in person. In May 1942, Kádár became a member of the newly formed Central Committee of the Communist Party, mainly down to the lack of experienced members, as the majority of them had been imprisoned by the Hungarian government at that point. When he was born, he was registered under the Italian version of his name, Giovanni Giuseppe Czermanik, because he was born in the Santo Spirito Hospital, built by Italians. He got the Czermanik family name from his mother. In his teenage years, Kádár would find work in the countryside during the summer. He was seen as odd by his colleagues, and in the countryside they would call him a city boy, while in the city they would call him a country boy. Kádár's regime was far more humane than other communist regimes, especially when compared to the first 7 years of communist rule in Hungary. However, it was not a liberal regime in any sense. The Communist Party had absolute control over the government and urged citizens to join party organizations. After he was turned down as a car mechanic, he started work as an apprentice of Sandory Zsák, who was the chief Hungarian representative of the Torpedo Typewriter Company in the autumn of 1927. Typewriter mechanics had a high standing among the working class, as there were only 160 of them in the whole of Hungary. He was known for his simple and modest lifestyle and avoided the self-indulgence of other communist leaders. Although he wasn't known to be personally corrupt, he sometimes overlooked the corrupt dealings of other members of the elite to an extent. To strengthen his popularity, state propaganda depicted him as completely intolerant to corruption within the party. His legacy remains disputed in Hungary. Supporters argue that the Kádár era was one of peace and stability with job security and robust social protections for average people. Others argue that although he increased the standard of living for Hungarians, and implemented broad liberalization, Hungary was still a dictatorship and Soviet satellite state. In 1952, Kádár was put on trial on false charges of having been a spy for former Regent Miklós Horthy's police. He was beaten by the security police and forced to confess. During his interrogation, the AVH secret police allegedly beat him, smeared him with mercury to prevent his pores from breathing, and his interrogator urinated into his mouth.